Is not gone yet.
But the fans will be.
They will be this weekend in Brazil. This is Talkin Hands. We are back. We have MMA action this Saturday afternoon now. They moved the time up 2 hours for UFC. Kevin Lee versus Charles Oliveira live on ESPN Plus and ESPN. So it is on ESPN if you don't have ESPN Plus this weekend. I'm your host, Preston Ekdahl, as always joined by my co-host at Slaughterhouse1 on Twitter, Mr. Jeff Slaughter. How are we doing today?
We are doing fantastic. While everyone else is out buying toilet paper, we're in here trying to figure out how we're going to make our next big paycheck, which will be tonight and tomorrow night. Got some good fights coming up. We're going to make some money, and let's get this shit started.
For sure. And as always, if you're going to bet on these fights, because what else are you going to bet on? Go to mybookie.ag. Use promo code PUBSPORTS. You'll get a 50% deposit match with a minimum of $99. Like we say, bet on the fights, make your money, pull it out, keep it going. Let's start off with a recap. Last week, we had UFC 248. It was headlined by Israel Adesanya versus Yoel Romero. Let's go from the bottom of the card on up. Opening the card, we had Dana Batgarel knocking out Guido Canetti.
The Mongolian does it again. We had the Mongolian. He's man, his striking looked pretty damn good, and we knew Canetti was done. You know, he's got a weak chin, and he's old, so he's
this was
no chance.
This was a pretty easy one.
Easy one. Yeah. We both got that. We move on. We split hairs on this one. Actually, we both had Emmers. I did say to take the over, and that's what we bet. So the over did cash. Decision was questionable. It could have really gone either way. Emmers probably had the more powerful shots. Giggy just had a lot of them in that first round, and I think that was the difference.
Yeah, but I think Emmers' third round was probably the most decisive round of the fight.
He did. He
put it on him pretty good, and I was like,
he got started too soft, and that's his problem.
Yeah.
If he came out more aggressive, he would have had this guy, I think, easy decision.
Yeah, but so we move on. Gerald Mearshart taps out Duran Wynn. Wynn might be out the UFC now.
Yeah, that was a rough one because he had Mearshart hurt, and he just kind of backed up and let him grab his neck, which I think we both talked about. Mearshart, if he grabs your neck, you're almost done every time. I mean, the guy's a high-level black belt, and Wynn fights stupid. Again, he fights stupid, doesn't use a lick of wrestling the whole freaking match.
Yeah, it was
idiot.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of what I thought could happen, and it sucks for Wynn. But we move on. Now we go on to the easy part of the card. Rodolfo Vieira, round one, arm triangle choke over Sabrak Safarov.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get any easier than this. This was a first round submission. We called it. We said first round. The only kind of surprise was Vieira was bleeding from the eye. He must have got poked or jabbed. We said the guy Sabrak was a dirty ass fighter.
Yeah,
he got twice there to stop holding the fence.
Yep.
He was holding Vieira's glove. None of that shit matters. This guy's too good. Vieira gets him easy.
Nice and easy.
Easy.
Olympic wrestler Marco Madsen gets it done via decision over Austin Hubbard. First 2 rounds dominates. Third round kind of lets up a bit, but he already had 2 rounds in the bag, so he gets it done.
Yeah, I mean, he puts on a show the first 2 rounds, just as dominant as can be as a wrestler. No questions. We had this one, and we move on to the next, which we also had with our 3-team parlay cashes. Sean O'Malley. Sugar does it again, and he looked great doing it.
Yeah, this was a nice one for sure for him. Off the 2-year layoff, comes back, headlines ESPN portion of the card, gets a nice clean knockout, and hopefully he moves on to bigger and better ranked opponents.
Yep.
We go forward, opening the pay-per-view. We said it'd be a close fight. It was a close fight. Alex Cowboy Oliveira gets the split over Max Griffin.
Yeah, this was one of the few we did split on. I think we split on 2 fights, and we each went 1-1 on those. So whenever we come in agreement, we dominate like we did this card. Alex Oliveira, close fight. he seemed to throw more shots. Max, when he had a chance to do any damage, he just laid there and did absolutely nothing. That was the difference in this fight.
Yeah, now the probably letdown of the night. Neil Magny dominates Jingling Lee, the Leech.
Huge letdown. And this is weird because one of the fighters we'll be talking about on this card got knocked out by Jingling, and it's just like a night and day performance. Where did that come from type shit? And now it kind of ruins my decision on this next card. But anyway, Neil Magny looked good for being off 2 years. He did get rocked there for a minute. Again, Lee comes out with a horrible game plan. He immediately tries to wrestle with Magny, which is not his game. And then he finally gets a good clean shot on Magny, has him a little dazed, doesn't rush in for the kill. Magny is just too good of a fighter to let off the hook like that.
Yeah, it was a pretty dominant performance by Magny, though.
He looked good. I have to admit it. As much as I hate Magny, he looked sharp.
Yeah. Now for maybe round of the year in that second round, Beneil Dariush gets the KO over Jakar Close.
Yeah, unbelievable. Again, Close doesn't use any wrestling. He has Darnell against the ropes, hurt, and then out of nowhere, Dariush just comes back with amazing combination and freaking knocked Close clean out.
Yeah, it was a tough one because Close, it seemed like he survived like the first round and he could have had it, but yeah, he got clipped, dropped, knocked out. Now, perhaps fight of the year, Zhang Wei Li gets the split. Debatable decision over Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I think this fight kind of not ended, but took a tide for the worse for Joanna when her head started to balloon up like that fourth round. It seemed like she lowered her aggression and power and was a little more focused on that, and Zhang Wei Li took over. But great fight.
Yeah, it was a great fight. It's definitely, in my book, the best of the year so far. Joanna, man, she's a true champion. She deserves that belt as much as Zhang does, in my opinion. Could have been split either way you go. I thought Joanna had more striking and seemed like she had better combos and ended all her combos with like kicks. No matter what, she ended with the kick. I wasn't too impressed with Zhang. Yeah, she has power and she's quick, but she wasn't able to knock Joanna out, which is kind of Joanna's weakness, is her chin, so I don't know. Good fight. Maybe we'll see a rematch, maybe we won't, but definitely an excellent fight.
And the main event, another letdown.
Horrible.
Israel Stavbender Adesanya gets the decision over Yoel Romero, mainly because Yoel Romero did nothing pretty much the whole fight. I think he threw like 15 punches the whole fight. So
yep. Yeah, it was pretty pathetic. Yeah, this was just a bad fight to even make. Like, why even make this fight? Dana bitches about Yoel and how stupid of a fighter is, yet he's fighting him in the main event against Adesanya, who for no reason really needed to take this fight. And if you ask me, Adesanya was in more danger than Yoel was at all in any point in this fight, period. Period. Yeah. So it could have been questionable. People are saying that Yoel could have won. I mean, when I looked up, all I saw was Adesanya running away from the guy. So you can see it two different ways, but it's whatever. It's a shitty fight, and hope they never book anything like that again.
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned it, Jeff here. I thought it was a kind of like a classic Anderson Silva type fight where he just pinpoints, outstrikes the other guy, and just tries to steal points away. Gets the decision, gets out of dodge. So, yeah, good. Just another name on Adesanya's record. Yep. Hopefully, they make the fight versus Costa this year, and that should be more entertaining. We move on to UFC Fight Night 170. Kevin Lee, Charles Oliveira in Brasilia, Brazil. They will be fighting this event with no fans due to the coronavirus. And side note, Kevin Lee missed weight pretty badly, but Oliveira decided to still take the fight. I'm sure there's a financial incentive. I think it's 30%. So makes sense for him to still take the fight. And we have a full fight card. We open up with Veronica Macedo fighting Bea Malecki.
Malecki. Okay, so we got Veronica Macedo minus 180 at mybookie.ag. Malecki is plus 150. The over and under is 2.5, minus 130. Under plus 100. Who you got in this one, Preston?
So Macedo, her last fight, I think she was supposed to lose to Poliana Viana.
Got her in a clean armbar.
Yeah, and it was very quick. Viana, yeah, her fight got canceled, right, versus Emily Whitmire. I think that was supposed to be last week as well.
Yep.
So we all know how improved she is, but she's given up an absurd amount of height and reach to Malecki, and she's moving up in weight. I do think she has a substantial ground advantage, but if she can't get it to the ground, I think she's going to get picked apart, and I'm going to open the card with the plus 150 Malecki winning the fight, maybe by finish. So under 2.5 might not be a bad look.
Yeah.
I just don't think. I think you're giving up 8 inches of height. That's tough to get in on her. So
yeah, 100%. So Malecki, this is her first fight. I think she has one fight in the UFC or period. Man, I agree 100%. Even though she's new, she's in Switzerland. She's like a Muay Thai freaking champion. Very high level, skilled Muay Thai. If she keeps this fight standing, she's going to dominate. Macedo, in my opinion, she is going to have to outwork with the side advantage. She's going to have to get her on the ground. If it goes that route, I could see Macedo winning, but I think Malecki's too big. These fights are so crazy in women's fights. Often it's so close until the third round. So with that being said, I will also take Malecki plus 150, but I like the over 2.5 minus 130. I do think this is a decision.
Okay. We move on. Bruno Silva battles it out with UFC debutant David Doverak.
Okay, so you got Bruno Silva coming in as the favorite, minus 120. Doverak, minus 110. Over under 2.5. Over minus 115. Under minus 115. Pretty even all across the board. This is the tough one for me. Silva's been around for a while. He is a very he's a great black belt. Doverak's fairly new, didn't impress me, but he also has a size advantage. Pretty big guy for this weight class. Man, again, these are so hard, these first two fights. Like, I was going to say dog or pass, but I'm going to go Doverak. I think he uses his reach in this one, and we've seen Silva can get knocked out. If Silva pretty on the feet, Silva has no chance, in my opinion. He's got to get this and get a submission. I don't think he does. I'm going Doverak minus 110.
Yeah, it's pretty much a pick 'em fight, and just if you even just look at the records, this Doverak guy gets it done inside the distance every fight. So he comes out for the kill. UFC debut. No fans, so really no hometown.
Exactly. This is what's throwing me off with this card is you really have to take this because judges have to actually watch the fight as opposed to actually staring at their phone, which we've seen them do before. So
I agree. I do think the judging should be more impartial because I do think some judges, they hear the crowd, the oohs, the ahs, they're going for one guy when the other guy's dominating. And I'm going to agree with Jeff here. I'm going to take Doverak. But again, it's a tough fight to bet because you don't know how good either guy really is.
Exactly.
Being so new in the UFC. But we come to an agreement there. We move on to Marna Marez fighting against Mara Bueno Silva.
Bueno Silva comes in as the favorite, minus 150. Marez plus 120. Over and under 2.5. Minus 268 for the over. Plus 208 for the under. So what does that tell you, folks?
What was the over?
Over is minus 268.
Yeah. This is a pretty clear over for sure.
Yeah, decision. I'll take this one. This is a little bit harder for me because Bueno Silva is probably the more talented girl by far. Marez, she's kind of known and made fun of. She does that air punching a lot, kind of like she makes all these crazy sounds. They call them tennis sounds. While she's punching air. It's kind of funny to watch, but her last fight, she keeps looking a little better. And she did switch gyms. I think she's over at top. Let's see. Is she at top now? Or let's see.
Brazilian top team?
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Marez. I should have had this already down, but I didn't. I'm sorry, folks. I was out buying toilet paper with the rest of the world. Anyway, no, I'm sorry. So I'll just make this quick. It doesn't matter the gym. I think Bueno Silva gets it done. She's a more talented person. She's in her hometown. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going with Silva.
Yeah, this is an interesting fight because Silva has been off since September of 2018. It's now March 2020, so that's a good year and a half. And Marez seems to fight every damn card every other month. Man, it's tough because I think Silva has the best win of them both with the armbar over Jillian Robertson, who is really good, and Marez kind of just splits fights left and right. Man, if
Marez definitely has the more experience too. I mean, she's been around for a while. She's taken a lot of losses, but she was younger when she's taking the losses. She's only freaking like 27, 28. Man, it is a tough fight. It really is. And with no fans, see, I was in my head before no fans were announced. I thought Silva was going to play off the fans because she's more athletic. She's more talented.
Yeah, because
I
think
that hype.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the fight's going to be Marez just standing, throwing 100 punches around, and hoping Silva doesn't hit her harder than she hits her. Because she's going to win the volume battle, but if Silva can, just pop her, kind of like the Weili fight versus Joanna, how Weili was hitting Joanna with the harder shots, but Joanna was out striking her with connections. That's what I think might happen here, but I think Silva also holds the advantage on the ground if she gets it there.
That's where I'm banking on too, is the ground. Yep.
So man, I'll take Silva. I think she's the short dog.
No, Silva's minus 150.
Minus 150. Okay, I'll go with Silva. Tough fight. I would not recommend this as a best bet. But this next fight, maybe. We move on. Ronnie or Hani Yaha versus Enrique Barzola.
Enrique Barzola. So they have Enrique Barzola at minus 185. Ronnie Yanni at plus 155. Over 2.5 minus 190. Under 2.5 plus 155.
Oh, breaking news. Bellator is canceled tonight.
Oh, boo. We had a whole fucking lineup and I studied really hard.
Awesome.
Just kidding.
This is great.
Bellator, Bellasmore. Damn it, that sucks. Oh well. At least we have old UFC.
Hopefully.
Fingers
crossed.
Fingers
crossed.
Well, we'll get through this anyways, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, who do you got here? Yaya or
I have Enrique. Enrique is going to be the bigger guy. His wrestling's pretty freaking dominant. Yeah, Yanni's a great black belt. He's got no chance on the feet. Enrique can knock this dude out, or out wrestle him, put him in positions wherever he wants. I remember watching Yanni back in WEC, tapping people out left and right. He's very skilled, has a lot of I'm going Enrique all the way. Enrique is he's going down a weight class.
Yeah,
he's going to be the bigger guy.
Yeah, he's moving down to bantamweight, and like I said, Yaha, he's been fighting forever. He's been fighting good guys for a long time. But he's kind of like a one-trick pony. He needs the submission, and earlier than later, it pretty much has to be a first-round submission. That's why I hinted at it before, but this, to me, is probably my best bet of the card. I think Enrique Barzola dominates. You're getting under 2-1. I think this line should be 3-1. I think Barzola just takes him down over. Second round starts clipping him. Maybe third round he does get that knockout finish. Who knows? I think Barzola is a very, very safe bet. Yeah, I love this fight. I love this fight for him. Like Jeff said, he's moving down in weight. He made weight. He didn't miss weight. He looked decent on the scale. He wasn't too drained.
Oh, he's fucking ripped. The dude is ripped. He's ready, dude. This guy's gonna dominate, like you said. This is one of the best bets of the night. Period.
Yeah, so maybe this will be Adesanya 2.0 for us. And
Yeah,
we can
I mean,
have a good week.
There's nothing that screams to me Yanni's going to win this. I mean, this guy can out wrestle him. He can use his wrestling as a reverse freaking defense to anything Yanni can bring at him, I think.
Yeah, I mean, unless like the only slight concern would be if he takes him down early, and Yaha gets him in like a triangle when they're not like wet, like sweating. Yeah. But besides that, Barzola is going to take every round,
and he can knock the guy out.
Yeah,
so he's got the way better striking advantage easily.
So okay, we're in agreement there. We move on to Alessi, Zaleski, Dos Santos versus Alexi, Koon, Chenko.
Yeah, Zaleski is minus 140. Chenko is plus 110. Over and under 2.5. Minus 180 for the over. Under plus 150. Another coin flip fight to me. You have nothing to go off from last fight because Zaleski gets knocked out by Ling, who looks like shit.
Yeah.
This last fight against Magny, and then Alex Kunchenko. God damn. Alex Chenko is coming off his first loss too. So
yeah, to Gilbert Burns.
Man, it's a tough fight. Kunchenko's got he's got the advantage in the grappling and probably the clinch. Zaleski probably definitely on the feet. Without the home crowd, you gotta wonder, is Zaleski gonna get up for this? Man, this is tough for me, dude. I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, so Dos Santos was a guy I was pretty high on. He ran through Curtis Millender, and then he got the fight versus the Leech, which we were in Vegas for. We thought he was for sure going to knock out the Leech. Instead, he gets dominated pretty bad. Kunchenko is kind of your typical Russian-type fighter, good everywhere, solid wrestling, good striking, uses his size to kind of dominate. And problem is, like Jeff said, I think Dos Santos has better striking and stand-up if he makes it more of a...
Definitely kicks.
Yeah, if he makes it, stays at reach and kicks him. But I'm going to take Kunchenko. Like we have been saying, there's no fans here. I think Chenko takes the kicks the first round and just, we say it, grappler or striker. I'm going to take the grappler, and I'm going to take Chenko with his, I think, better all-around game to stifle Dos Santos and win a decision.
Yeah, I mean, I got to lean that way too. You got to go with the grappler in these situations with no crowds. You got to think Kunchenko's going to play smart and try to win the match. So he's not going to have the fans behind him looking for like wars, like a swinging war, like battles, just throwing hands. And I don't know, man. Zaleski hasn't really impressed me, especially last fight. He didn't look that good at all. I think Kunchenko knows what he needs to do, and he's going to do it. And I'm going with Kunchenko as well, plus 210. I hate going against all these Brazilians in Brazil, but I don't know. It's just the way I'm feeling right now.
Okay, we move on. Ronda Marcos.
I will go back real quick. Minus 180 over 2.5 isn't a bad play on that fight.
Yeah. No, I think it's gonna be a decision. Yeah. Ronda Marcos versus Amanda Ribas. I think Amanda is a pretty healthy favorite here.
Yep. Marcos, Ribas is minus 335. Marcos is plus 260. Over and under 2.5, minus 130. Under 2.5, plus 255.
Okay, so Marcos has been fighting the UFC for years, at least 5 years. She's another one where I don't think she'll ever not be in the UFC because she alternates wins and losses. She's due, I think, for a loss. Amanda has the much better win. She just beat Mackenzie Dern pretty convincingly. Mackenzie Dern was one of those girls who was really good ground game, not great striking, and Ribas kind of just took it wherever the fight needed. And she has a nice win now in hindsight over Emily Whitmire. I don't know if I agree with how heavy the line is, but I do think she's going to win this fight pretty much wherever it takes place. And
I agree 100%.
Yeah,
Reba's is the only way you could go in this if you're willing to lay that juice. I don't see Marcos doing anything. I mean, there's just, I don't know. These fights to me are kind of like, you have to just go with, like, be willing to lay that 335 because it's almost, to me, free money. But
yeah, you just gotta hope it is free money.
Yep. So let's move on. We're both in agreement on that.
Jussier Formiga battles Brandon Moreno.
Formiga, okay, so Formiga's minus 160, Moreno's plus 130, over and under 2.5, over minus 3.25, 325 plus 250 for the under. Formiga, I'm all over Formiga. I mean, he's gonna dominate. He's such a better fighter in all aspects, in my opinion. To me, at 160, this is freaking a gift. He dominated Figueiredo. I mean, just at will. I think he does the same thing to Moreno. Moreno's still pretty young. He didn't look that impressive the last fight, and he's a little bit smaller. So I'm going for Miga all the way. I think this is another best bet for me, just like the one from before. God.
Yeah. So yeah, I am in agreement here. I think Formiga has the ground advantage. My only worry is Moreno has been better the last few fights because he is quite a bit younger, so he's more akin to kind of just
He can
outwork
recover
you
faster too.
and like he'll just like outwork you a bit. Formiga, sometimes he just doesn't advance enough, like he hasn't put his stamp on the fight. But if he does what he should do, which is couple overhand rights, get a takedown, hold position, and just win the round after round, I think Moreno's going to be on his back a lot, like shrimp out, try to get back to his feet, try to punch a lot, try to get a takedown. Formiga will not get taken down. He'll switch the position. He'll be on top more so than on bottom. And I agree. I think Formiga is pretty good, pretty safe. This is, again, no fans, and I think that helps actually Formiga too because the fans will probably be, even though Formiga's Brazilian, I think the fans will like how Moreno fights more. But Formiga, I think, is just gonna outclass him.
And I think that's it. Outclass him is the right word to say. I like Brandon Moreno. I think he's got a good future. I just think that this is Formiga's time, and he's going to outclass him 100%.
Yeah, so we move on to Francisco Trinaldo versus John Makdessi. Trinaldo's off. I think was his last fight, Hernandez.
Makdessi, yeah. Trinaldo should have been Hernandez should have been his last fight. Trinaldo's minus 170 in this fight. John Makdessi is plus 140, over 2.5, minus 235, under 2.5 is plus 195. We saw Francisco live in person against Alex Hernandez. Francisco didn't do hardly anything but catch Alex a few times and actually win the fight that he didn't.
Yeah. You just didn't get the decision.
I hate to say that, but man, I don't like Makdessi. I think he's a punk. He had his jaw broke twice in fights. As much as Francisco's old, but I think Francisco knocks Makdessi out straight up. I think he knocks him out with the left hand. I think he has the better striking. He gets on the ground. He's a jiu-jitsu guy too. You know, I think he's going to win this fight. I think he's going to win this fight in his home crowd. Francisco Trinaldo minus 170.
Yeah, so Trinaldo, I guess he had one fight after the Hernandez loss. He beat Bobby Green, which I think was a close fight. But so Makdessi is kind of more of a flashy kickboxer type. He tries to do more fancy kicks. Every time he stepped up in competition, he loses. Yeah, this is a tough one because I don't care for either guy. Trinaldo bores me. Trinaldo doesn't do a whole lot. But I will side with Trinaldo. I don't think he wants to stay standing for an extended period of time, though, early. I think second round, third round, if he mixes it up more, I think he can, like you said, catch Makdessi. I think the first round, Makdessi's going to be throwing 100 leg kicks, and Makdessi might steal the first round, but over time, Ronaldo wears him out and should get the decision. We move on to one of the more hyped prospects in recent UFC memory. Johnny Walker makes his return to face Nikita Krylov.
Walker comes in after getting his ass knocked out by Corey Anderson at -140. Got to give that to the home crowd because this is for the home team, because this is more like a pick'em fight to me. Krylov is +110, over and under 1.5, +155 over. Under 1.5 is -185. So they're telling you, hey, Johnny's going to come out here blazing, all guns blazing. He's looking for a nice 1-round knockout. We've seen what happens to him after the first round. The guy gasses. Krylov has definitely got the advantage in the clinch and probably the wrestling. But we know Johnny Walker has it on the feet, standing. I mean, it's a hard fight for me, man. It's a little closer than I think people think. Walker came out all flashy and hype, but he never really fought anyone that great. And
he was winning his fights in seconds.
He was winning his fights in seconds. And then you see him get demolished by Corey Anderson. And then you see Corey Anderson get demolished by Jan. Like, it's such a weird cycle of shit to go off of. But, man, hometown, you got to go with Walker. I don't see him losing 2 in a row in his hometown. If he does, he might want to reconsider because he was embarrassed last time with that left.
Yeah.
And he just looked like he was too cocky for his own britches.
Yeah. So, this is a tough one because I do think Krylov, if he can somehow just clinch Walker and try to get to the ground, he probably could ground and pound him pretty easily and win the fight.
It's tough, man.
But Johnny Walker early is pretty sharp and dynamic. And I think Johnny Walker will probably catch him with some sort of elbow or
flying knee, or Superman
knee.
punch, some stupid bullshit. But you know what's crazy is like Johnny Walker against that Corey Anderson, right off the bat, they got into the exchanges and some grappling and stuff. Johnny Walker got up quick.
Yeah, no.
We haven't seen his grappling. He might be excellent on grappling. We don't know.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Johnny Walker. We don't know.
Yeah. He's only fought a few fights. And
so it's hard to bet on this fight for me, but I'm going Walker. I got to just ride the Walker train.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to take Johnny Walker as well. You said under 1.5 minus like 180?
Yeah, 185, under 1.5. I could see the over at +155.
Yeah.
Over 1.5 rounds in a UFC fight is not a lot.
Especially because, again, there's no fans at this event, so it's not like Walker is fighting for the crowd, really.
Yeah, exactly. And Krylov can clinch this guy and he can wrestle him and keep him against the cages. That's going to shorten Walker's strikes, which would make his power not as efficient. I mean, we'll see. But yeah, Walker's got to win this, I think.
Okay, we move on to Renato Moicano Carneiro versus Damir Hadzovic.
Yeah, so this is one of the bigger favorites on the card. Moicano is -350. Hadzovic is +275. Over under 2.5, -165 over, under +135. Who you got? I mean, this is pretty easy for me. This is the favorite all the way, Moicano. This Hadzovic guys doesn't impress me too much at all.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much must win for Renato Moicano because his last fight, I think it was a short favorite over Korean Zombie.
Yep.
First punch he got hit with, he got knocked out. Before that, he was actually beating Jose Aldo in the first round. Pretty much the same thing happened. Jose Aldo hit him once. He turtled away. He ran across the octagon. Aldo just chased him down, punched him about 5 times, and he went down quick. So I don't like that for Moicano, but he does hold one distinct edge, which is the grappling. If he can get Hadzovic down, he should get a submission. Hadzovic standing isn't horrible. He has decent kickboxing, like boxing skills, but grappling, Moicano is a very good jiu-jitsu practitioner, and I think he can get him down and tap him out. I don't think the line should be this high at all.
I agree.
But I will side with Moicano, but I could see Hadzovic winning this fight. But
Yeah, I mean, Hadzovic has to knock the dude out. I mean, he's got to catch him, which can be done. I'm in agreement with you, though. Moicano's got to get this to the ground and sub him ASAP. You don't want to drag this out and get into a battle. So we're both in agreement there. I just wanted to bring up a point, bringing up Korean Zombie. That it makes you wonder how good Korean Zombie really is, because man, the guy has been on a tear. He's beaten some good fighters lately. I mean, he barely lost to Yair, which is kind of a fluke fight.
Yeah, he lost in the last second.
The guy might be on a mission, so look out for Korean Zombie in the future.
Yeah, Korean Zombie is very good. Co-main event time. Damian Maia battles Gilbert Burns.
Damian Maia, this is a tough fight. Gilbert Burns coming in at -180. Damian Maia catching plus 150. Over and under 2.5, -220. Under 2.5, plus 180. The battle of the high-level black belts.
Yep.
I mean, these two guys are... Maia definitely got the edge in the black belt, but these two guys are probably top 5 black belts in the whole league. I mean, definitely top 5. They're amazing black belts. Burns got the power on the feet. Maia's got the size advantage. Tough fight. I mean,
yeah,
this is a close fight. Pick 'em fight, both from Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Maia's probably like a mentor to Burns, you would think. Like, he looks up to Maia. Like, Maia's such a freaking skilled practitioner in the black belt, and worshipped by so many people in the freaking that land, Brazil. Man, I don't know, dude. I'm going with Burns. I gotta go with Burns. I think he clips Maia. On the feet, he's got the advantage. These guys being such high-level black belts, I could see either one of them, using their black belt as a stalemate type tactic, where they just, if they want to roll around with each other, they can do that all day, but it's going to be stalemate after stalemate. Burns is going to get the guy on the feet. I do worry about Maia's size advantage in the clinch against the fence. You got to wonder if Burns gets taken down, how he's going to fight off his back, et cetera, et cetera. Man, it's a tough fight. It's a tough fight.
Yeah, I'm not betting against Maia as an underdog, unless he's fighting Usman, Covington. That might be it. There's probably a couple other guys, but Burns is very good. But like you're saying, Burns is huge. Like, not advantage, but like his grappling is top tier. But again, he's going against Maia, who also has really good grappling. And Maia just kind of muddies the fight up. Isn't exciting, but he just knows how to win rounds, steal rounds. Like, that's what he did versus Tony Rocco Martin. It's what he did to Askren, and then he got Askren in the choke. He submitted Lyman Good immediately, and Good is pretty damn good. I think over, if it's 2.5, I think over. I think this is a decision pretty safe. I don't know what the line is on that, but
-220.
yeah,
over.
So that's a little heavy, but I think that's pretty safe. Like you're saying, it's a tough fight. I'm gonna go with Maia though, plus 150. I'll take Maia as the dog.
Yeah, I was torn on this one. I gotta lean Burns just for the fact that I think if anything, he can clip Maia and hurt him and get him TKO'd. To me, that's the only way he wins. If this goes to decision, I don't know if he can win, but I'm going to take a shot with Burns at -180. Next up, the main event, Charles Oliveira versus Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee comes in overweight. His price is -145. Charles is catching plus 115. Over and under 2.5, plus 125 over. Wow. Under 2.5, -155. This is another tough fight for me, man. I hate this fight actually, but I'll let you start.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably number one on the Charles Oliveira bandwagon. I've said he's been top tier for 2 years now. He deserves the big fight. Now he's finally getting that big fight. finishing machine. Kevin Lee quits. He quits a lot. He quit today. He didn't make fucking weight. The guy sucks.
That's bullshit.
I don't like the guy. He's going to get probably not knocked out, but he'll probably get tapped out. I think Oliveira's going to. I think Lee holds one advantage, which is the wrestling, but we've seen it. This fight already happened last year. Kevin Lee fought Rafael Dos Anjos. Same odds. He was 150. He tried to take Dos Anjos down twice. First round, second round. He held him against the cage. Couldn't do it. Third round comes. Kevin Lee's gassed out, huffing and puffing, ready to die. Dos Anjos takes him down. Doesn't even do an elite jiu-jitsu move. Takes mount. Slowly grabs a head and arm choke. And Lee taps within a second of getting put in the choke. Lee sucks. I don't like the guy. I don't. This is a biased pick. I know that. I'm taking Oliveira. I think Oliveira can probably not knock him out. But I think he can stun him. Once he stuns him, he's going to get his head. He's going to get an arm. He's going to get a leg. He's going to tap him out. Charles Oliveira, to me, is the pick.
Yeah, I mean, this is hard for me because I like Charles Oliveira. I hate Kevin Lee as well. Kevin Lee's way too fucking cocky for me. The guy, he seems to like win one, get a big head, then lose one.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great win. His last fight. Yeah, he beat a very good guy.
At the same time, it was a fucking lucky leg kick to the head. Like, try that freaking 8 out of 10 times. It's not going to happen, dude.
Yeah.
Leslie's going to catch that, or I don't know. Maybe it will. I don't know. But anyway, back to the fight. Man, this scares me because Kevin Lee is overweight. He does have the wrestling advantage. Charles Oliveira ain't Junior De Santos. He's going to be able to get thrown down to the ground. Kevin Lee just needs to pass one guard, and he can ground and pound the shit out of Oliveira. Oliveira has been grounded and pounded before, and you can see that in the Kevin Felder fight. Kevin Felder almost dominated the guy, ground and pounding him. Man, I don't know. It's tough because I don't want to bet against Oliveira, and I hate Kevin Lee. Oh, fuck. I probably will not bet on this, but I'm going to lean Kevin Lee.
If anything, you say it's 2.5 unders minus 150.
Yeah, I could see it going to a decision even, but
yeah.
See, that's the thing is I think Kevin Lee can ground and pound Oliveira, but Oliveira might have a little bit of advantage on the feet. People don't give him credit. He's good on the feet.
Yeah,
Charles Oliveira is great on it. That's the thing. He has the most submissions in UFC history. Everyone thinks he's just a black belt guy. Yeah. The dude's a fucking great stand-up.
Like, that's what I'm saying. No one knows how good he is.
He's a great stand-up.
Like, he's been killing people. Every fight, he just kills them.
Man, this is tough.
And he's the underdog again. And I get why he's the underdog. Kevin Lee just beat the guy that UFC thought could challenge Khabib in wrestling, and Gillespie, who's a champion wrestler. Kevin Lee knocked him out. That's Kevin Lee's best win his whole career by far.
What I don't get is the line, though. I think it should be closer to pick him.
But this was what Kevin Lee was versus RDA.
In Brazil, though? Like, come on.
Well, there's no fans, but...
Still, though. I mean, they didn't know that before they set the line. Man, I'm going to fucking go with Preston here. I'm going with Charles Oliveira. I'm taking the dog. I hate Kevin Lee. I hope that our negative energy towards him causes a vicious knockout.
Yeah, no, what I think is going to happen is I think Kevin Lee, he's overweight. He's going to try the takedown. He'll probably get it the first round. Oliveira's going to survive. He's going to try it the second round. Oliveira's going to start kicking him, punching him, elbowing him. Kevin Lee's going to get frustrated. He's going to come out the third round, get clipped with a punch or an elbow, get dropped. Oliveira's going to tap him out. Third or fourth round.
Yeah, I hope.
And then Kevin Lee's going to cry again, say the same old shit, say, oh, my trainers didn't train me proper. It's the trainer's fault, just like he did against Ali Quinta when he lost that fight. Kevin Lee is a crybaby. I don't like the guy. Oliveira.
It is interesting, though. This is a 5-round fight, so it's over 2.5.
Yeah, it's a 5-round fight.
That's fucking nuts to me. I feel like it would be over 3.5, if anything. Fuck.
Well, Oliveira's been finishing guys in the first round.
Yeah, I know. I gotta see when this fucking fight starts. that will be my decision making. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna just for now go with Oliveira. I think dog or pass situation right now. For this fight particular, but
okay.
Don't be surprised if Kevin Lee takes this guy down and fucking ground and pound the hell out of the guy. I could see that.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I mean, Kevin Lee, but again, we've said it before. The wrestlers don't always use the wrestling. Like, they refuse to wrestle. Kevin Lee, that's all he had to do versus Quinta, and he refused to wrestle Quinta. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And then he did a little bit at the end of the first round, and he got gassed out. Then Al was the one putting the pressure on him. Kevin Lee's gassed out damn near every fight I've seen.
I think there's a trend here, though. I've noticed a lot of wrestlers don't use their wrestling. I feel like maybe that's because they're conserving their energy. Like, they know how much it drains.
Yeah,
them.
because that happened with the Olympic guy last week, Mark Madsen.
Yeah.
And then the third round, he's getting killed.
Well, anyhow, we're both in agreement on a lot of fights. Man, we hope this is a good fight. Real quick, let me sponsor out to our sponsors, Natural Heights. Great guys. If you suffer from stress, anxiety, joint pain, PTSD, or insomnia, aches and pains, any of that stuff, go see our guys over at 1880 Nacogdoches Road, 210-592-1060. Again, that's Natural Heights.
Yeah, and then like always, mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. This right now looks like the only event going on this weekend.
Yeah,
so.
we were gonna do a Bellator video, and now I guess we're not.
Yeah, Bellator did get canceled.
It got canceled
literally during the show.
We're hoping this doesn't get canceled. I think it won't, because Dana was pretty stern on.
Yeah, he went on ESPN yesterday, said they're going forward. ESPN is advertising it, and they are showing it. This was going to be an ESPN Plus only event, but with no other events happening, it moves to ESPN, and of course ESPN Plus if you want to watch it there.
It's funny too, because these fighters aren't millionaires, man. Like the NBA football player. Like,
yeah, they don't. Yeah, they don't make much money.
A lot of them on Twitter have come out and said, "Look, I'd rather get sick than not fight and get my measly paycheck that
10 grand,
UFC pays them." So these guys want to fight. They need to fight. They need the money. Most of the money they make goes to their next training session, or their past
coaches,
or their past training. So they're living basically fight to fight. That's why they're not going to stop this, in my opinion. But
we can go best bet. Last week we went 2-1.
2-1, and I had an iffy fucking win. I would have taken that back. That wasn't the best bet I put out.
I should have. I did Adesanya with O'Malley. The best bet was the 3-fight ESPN parlay with O'Malley, Madsen, and Vieira. That was the best bet,
and that was posted on Twitter. So
yeah, so hopefully this week we'll sweep it. I'm gonna go pretty safe. I think you're laying 180 or 185 Barzola.
185 Barzola.
Yeah, I don't really see how he loses.
Easy money.
Yeah, I'm going to take Enrique Barzola, and hopefully we cash that one.
And I'm going for Miga at -160. So those should be a good 2-0 fight. We'll probably put out some more picks for you later on in a blog form, and give you some other parlay action. And there's a good best bet here, and that's the freaking ladies, Malecki Macedo, the first fight of the night, over 2.5, -130. I think that's great.
Yeah, if you just gotta hope Macedo doesn't get killed standing.
Yeah,
but yeah, we'll be back. Fingers crossed. We still have UFC next week in London, and yeah, we'll be back next week to preview the card, guys. We'll see you then.
Come visit us, Southtown 101. Thank you.